The Hellfire Discipline is the forgotten law of greatness, the burning truth that no comfort zone has ever produced a legend, and that every extraordinary person you admire, whether it is an athlete who rewrote the rules of the game, an entrepreneur who built an empire from nothing, or a thinker whose ideas reshaped the world, had to pass through a furnace of struggle so intense that it would melt the spirit of ordinary people. Because greatness is not born in soft pillows, easy mornings, or safe choices. It is forged in nights of exhaustion, when sleep feels like a luxury, in days of relentless repetition where progress is invisible, and in years of sacrifice where excuses are burned like dry wood in a raging fire. Most people do not fail because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. They fail because they lack intensity. They want the reward without the resistance, the title without the trial, the success without the suffering. But life does not work that way, and reality respects only those who are willing to endure pressure without breaking. There exists a hidden psychological threshold called absolute intensity, a point where your mind and body cross into a zone that permanently rejects mediocrity. And once you step into that zone, you cannot return to being average, because your nervous system adapts, your standards rise, and your identity changes at the deepest level. In this zone, struggle is no longer something you tolerate. It becomes something you seek, because you have trained your brain to associate effort with meaning, sweat with growth, and pressure with purpose. You stop seeing hardship as punishment and start seeing it as proof that you are on the right path, because pressure is the furnace that turns raw potential into refined power, just as heat turns coal into diamonds. Hellfire Discipline is not about being busy. It's not about filling your schedule with noise, fake productivity, or endless tasks that make you feel important without making you effective. It is about burning away distractions, consuming excuses, and cutting off anything that does not serve your mission. It is about choosing depth over comfort, repetition over novelty, and discipline over motivation. Because motivation is emotional and temporary, but discipline is structural and permanent. While the world celebrates shortcuts and hacks, the uncomfortable truth is that smart work only matters after you have mastered hard work, because intelligence without effort collapses under pressure, and talent without discipline fades under resistance. To sustain this internal fire, you must upgrade your physical and mental systems, because your body is the engine of your ambition, and your mind is the steering wheel of your destiny. You must sleep with discipline, not randomly, because fatigue destroys focus, and focus is everything. You must eat with purpose, not pleasure, because what you consume becomes the raw material of your energy. You must move your body daily, because motion sharpens the mind, strengthens willpower, and increases emotional control. You must guard your mental environment fiercely, because a distracted mind cannot build a focused future, and toxic influences slowly weaken even strong intentions. When you fully embrace Hellfire Discipline, you begin to acquire skills at a speed that feels supernatural to others, but is simply the result of immersion, repetition, and deliberate struggle. Your learning curve steepens because your brain adapts through neuroplasticity, building stronger neural pathways for focus, resilience, memory, and creativity. Confidence becomes natural, not loud or fake, but quiet and grounded, because you know you have worked harder than anyone else in the room, and self-respect grows not from praise, but from proof. You begin to enter the flow state more often, that rare mental zone where time disappears, effort feels smooth, and performance reaches its peak, not because things are easy, but because you have trained yourself to function under pressure. Doubt will still appear, exhaustion will still test you, fear will still whisper, But those moments are not signs to stop. They are signals that the fire is doing its work, burning away the weak version of you that cannot carry the future you want. One of the most powerful habits inside Hellfire Discipline is extreme accountability. The practice of brutally reviewing your actions every day without lying to yourself, without excuses, and without emotional protection. This means facing your mistakes directly, identifying where you were weak, lazy, distracted, or fearful, and correcting that flaw immediately. This habit alone can change a life in weeks because it eliminates denial, and denial is the greatest enemy of growth. When you refuse to sleep while lying to yourself, when you demand progress instead of comfort, every tomorrow becomes stronger than today. Over time, this accountability rewires your identity, and you stop seeing discipline as restriction and start seeing it as freedom, because discipline removes chaos, and chaos is the true prison. When absolute intensity, obsession with mastery, resilience training, purpose-driven effort, environment control, delayed gratification, and identity shift combine, they form a system that makes greatness inevitable, not optional. You stop waiting for permission, validation, or perfect conditions, and you start acting as if you are already the person you want to become. This identity shift changes everything: the way you speak, the way you move, the way you eat, the way you spend time, and the way you respond to pain. You are no longer chasing success, you are embodying it daily through action. In a world drowning in comfort, distraction, and shallow pleasure, Hellfire Discipline becomes a rare weapon, the antidote that separates leaders from followers, creators from consumers, and builders from complainers. It is not popular, it is not easy, and it is not comfortable, but it is effective. If you choose to live with a level of intensity that others call extreme, unreasonable, or obsessive, you will eventually discover that greatness is not a mystery reserved for a few. It is simply the natural outcome of relentless effort, brutal honesty, and unbreakable resilience applied consistently over time. The longer you stay in the fire, the stronger you become, because every day of struggle is a vote for your future self. Every repetition is a brick in the fortress of your destiny. Every sacrifice is a seed that grows into confidence that cannot be shaken. One day, when you look back, you will realize that the pain was never punishment, it was preparation. The exhaustion was never weakness, it was training. The failures were never endings, they were lessons. And the Hellfire Discipline was never cruelty, it was transformation. The only path capable of carrying you from ordinary to unstoppable, from potential to power, from forgotten to legendary.